Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 mod review. Today we have the chance to look at a wonderful new makeshift lever action rifle, and that is the Rossi Rio Grande by Cadaver. This is going to be a nice new lever action featuring some really cool custom animations. Those animations are actually going to come from the Winchester Model 1873, which is going to make that a requirement for this mod, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal because if you're downloading this, my guess is you like lever actions as it is, and so more lever actions the merrier. Now, as for that Rossi Rio Grande, you're going to get a good handful of attachments, those custom animations of course. This weapon will not feature level-less integration, though there will be some variants that you can find out in the world, and altogether this is just going to make for a very nice lever action package. As far as stats go, the base damage for the Rio Grande is going to be 45. It is using the 4570 rounds from Far Harbor, which is going to make Far Harbor a requirement for this weapon. It has a fire rate of 6 as it is lever action, has a range of 206, an accuracy of 71, a weight of 10.8 pounds, and a value of 910 caps. Now, like I said earlier, this mod is going to use the animations from the Winchester 1873 pack, but in case you haven't seen those, we'll go ahead and show them now, starting with the equipping animation, and then firing and reloading, and this weapon does support bullet counted reload and is going to reload the correct amount of bullets. So if you fire one bullet, you're going to reload one bullet. Always a nice little immersive quality of life addition, especially when the vanilla lever action doesn't even feature that. On top of that, you do get a custom melee animation, as well as a custom grenade throw. So if you want to get your hands on the basic version of the Rio Grande, you're going to need to head over to the Museum of Freedom. Once inside, head over to the second floor where you would find the big mural as well as 2 raiders. Head over to the right and there will be a wall safe with 50 45-70 caliber rounds as well as a Rio Grande. Now there are also 2 legendary variants that you can find out in the world. I'm going to go ahead and show those locations, so if you don't want those spoiled, you have been warned, and there will be a timestamp above that you can click to avoid the spoilers of these 2 legendary locations. Alright, so to get your hands on the Viennetta, you're going to need to head over to the Gibson Point Pier. Once there will be a small diner. Head inside and there will actually be a locked floor safe, and in there you will find the Viennetta as well as 50 more of those 45-70 rounds. The Viennetta weapon itself is going to have nice gold plating as well as some black furniture, and is going to have the Nimble legendary effect, giving you 75% faster movement speed while aiming. Pretty nice for a lever action. The next legendary variant, known as the Fixer, can be found at the Mass Pike interchange. Simply head down the road and you'll find a set of beds, under one of which there will be another locked safe where you can find the Fixer and 50 more of those 45-70 rounds. The Fixer is going to be sporting a nice gunner paint job as well as a scope, and it's going to have the penetrating effect, which is going to ignore 30% of the target's damage and energy resistance, which is pretty nice for getting through some of those heavier targets. Now, when it comes to the attachments for this weapon, there aren't a ton of categories, but we do get some cool options. Starting with the receivers, we have 2 different kinds of receivers and then different variants within. Starting with the standard receivers, we have your standard receiver, the calibrated powerful, hardened, and the powerful. The best of which is going to be that calibrated powerful with a max damage of 81 compared to the standard 45. Then we also get tactical receivers, which are going to change the way it looks a bit. So as you can see, the standard one is very nice and a makeshift, but pretty rusty, whereas the tactical has a nice polymer front end, as well as some brass knuckles on the lever. Now, from there we have the same options with the standard, calibrated powerful, hardened, and powerful. With the calibrated powerful, again, giving you that max damage of 81, but with a nice alternative look. We do have 2 magazine options with the short magazine and the long magazine, which is just going to be cosmetic according to the description. I haven't actually tested to see if you get more ammunition. That's something we're going to have to look into in just a second. Then we do have some stock options with the standard wood stock, which is all beaten up and makeshift, and then you have the polymer stock, which is going to fit nicer with that tactical version of the receiver. And then finally we do have some sight options with the standard iron sights, the sniper scope, the Seymour red dot, the Sig Sauer Romeo 3 red dot, and the Spectre DR 2.5 times scope. Some pretty modern options as the optics, but they do work. I do like the sniper scope and the way that it looks on this rifle, so that fits just fine. And altogether, those are your attachments for the Rio Grande. So after some testing, sure enough, those tubes are actually cosmetic. Here is the standard Rio Grande with 15 rounds in the tube. And then we can move over to something like our powerful Rio Grande here, which has the extended tube, and we still only get the 15 rounds. Pretty interesting. Would be nice to see an extended mag that actually does offer more bullets in the tube, but hey, either way, at least you get the option for the cosmetic. And now it is time for the damage test section of this video. We're going to be running 2 tests today, one with the standard version of the Rio Grande, and another with a fully upgraded version with the maxed out damage. So, let's go ahead and start with the standard version of the Rio Grande and see how it performs on a Deathclaw, keeping in mind that my character has no perks, so these are just going to be the raw stats of the weapon, showing off how it does with no attachments. Let's go ahead and test it out. And in 13 shots, that Deathclaw is down. And since there is no difference in the tubes, you're going to be able to get this down without having to actually reload the weapon, which is pretty nice, especially since you don't have any attachments, though we are shooting 4570, which is a pretty big round from the Far Harbor DLC. Now let's see how we do fully upgraded with an advanced receiver. And that one went down in only 11 shots, compared to the standard 13. Not much of a difference between those two receivers, but hey, any upgrade is good enough, I suppose. So yeah guys, that is the Rossi Rio Grande by Cadaver. A pretty cool little makeshift lever action rifle here, with some really cool unique variants that you can go and find out in the world with some neat cosmetic options. This is definitely a unique looking lever action rifle to add to your arsenal, so if you're going to have a handful of lever actions already, especially if you're already using that Winchester Model 1873, it's worth throwing this one in there just to have a little bit more variety and some really cool collectibles that you can go and find out in the world since this isn't added to the leveled list. At the very least, you can have some cool options to hang up on your wall that look really, really nice, or you can use them yourselves or even equip them to a companion. Regardless, definitely one that's worth checking out, and I highly recommend this to any lever action enthusiasts. So with all that out of the way, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you want to try this mod out for yourself, it will be linked down in the description below as always, and if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a rating. Subscribe if you haven't already for more videos just like this one, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace! And really quick, I'd like to make a shout out to all of our patrons. Your donations are greatly appreciated and really help to support the channel and videos just like this one. So again, thank you!